Alright, so we're down in Kent at the moment, near Dover, and we're going off to Anglesey on holiday today. So this is going to be a little bit of a vlog of what's going on. So the car is on charge here, and where it lives overnight, some nights, not very far away from my house, and obviously it's already warm and has the destination preloaded. Now we are going to have to charge because Anglesey is further than 270 miles away, which is about the range of this car. It's normally about 270 miles. So we are going to have to charge on the way there. I haven't really planned where we're going to stop. Just going to see how we get on because it's over a 6-hour journey and we're going to have 5 of us in the car, myself included, and we're definitely going to need to go to the loo and have some refreshment on the way. Probably have some breakfast and lunch, that kind of thing, and hopefully combine that with some charging. So we'll see how we get on. We're on 100% now. Well, we're on 99 actually because it's running the heater. So yeah, this is kind of charging stop 0, and we'll see at the next one when that is. I suspect it won't be when the battery's flat, but having a look now, we've got 268 miles and it's heating the battery as we speak. If we okay, so if we have a look at the planning where we are now, it's suggesting 2 stops, one of 13 minutes and one of 19 minutes. So those are at Tesla superchargers. Probably not going to do exactly that, but that's what it's suggesting at the moment, going around the north end of the M25, up the M1, M6, and then across down the North Wales Expressway. But yeah, that gives you some idea of the sort of charging we want to do. I do actually want to arrive with a bit more percentage because I'm not sure we're going to be able to charge at the Airbnb we're staying at. It gives us about a 6.5-hour journey without charging. What's it now? We'll probably leave it about 8. So we're going to leave now. It's actually still preheating the battery, but I forgot to set a time of when we're going to leave last night. Cabin's already warm, demisted, so that's all good. So yeah, it's funny. It's going to be a fairly long journey to do in one go. I mean, I wouldn't want to do like a 6.5-7 hour journey non-stop. So you know, definitely going to have to stop for comfort and food breaks. Hopefully they're just going to naturally coincide with when we need to charge. Sorry, I'm just going to drive the route, and when we stop we will charge. I'm more interested in what the quality of the food is like than the charging. Charging is a little bit limited up in North Wales though, so we'll see how we get on with that. Okay, so we're at 99%, 268 miles leaving. So I don't think we're going to make an hour before our first stop, to be honest. Whether we'll charge then is another matter. I'm quite hungry. So if we can have a breakfast stop and a lunch stop and maybe like one loo stop, so maybe 3 stops, that would be good. I'm seeing 5 if I'm honest. Okay, we're at Toddington Services, and there's a fast charging hub here, but they're rubbish, so we're not bothering to charge. We're 2.5 hours into the journey and we've still got 52%, so this is a very quick loo break and not a charging break. Could charge, but no point because we're going to stop later on. So there are chargers on the other side I can see now. This bloke's charging his van and stuff, but yeah, we're going to stop at Trentham Gardens and we should have 10% there. So we made it to Trentham Gardens with 9%, so that's, I forgot how many miles, but it's about 230 miles from when we left. Had that very quick stop for a wee, and yeah, lots of superchargers here. The Tesla actually didn't want us to stop here, but I did want to stop here, so I've specifically set it to come here. And yeah, it's just 25 minutes to 80%. So I'm hoping that we'll be able to get something to eat in that time. I might just increase the charge limit a little bit to get a bit more time, because that's going to be a bit too quick. So never been here before, heard a lot about it though. So yes, it's been 4.5 hours since we left, which is a long time without a proper break. We had a very quick break to go to the loo, but really 4.5 hours. I'm pretty keen to have something to drink and eat. And yeah, it's quite busy here. It's not full, but it is pretty busy. Well, I'm actually walking back to the car now because we've ordered some food. It hasn't turned up yet. I've set my charge limit to 100%, and yet, annoyingly, not got the food yet. So the charging is actually too quick. I don't know quite how long it's been, but I would say possibly around about half an hour, maybe 35 minutes. But I actually find this quite a lot with charging, that it's quite nice to match your charging to when you need to eat. The only problem is that you end up taking longer to eat than it takes to charge, because so much emphasis into fast charging, and even though this site is completely full, I'm still getting a really high rate of charge, well, comparatively high rate of charge. So just going to move the car. So yeah, we are full here. Oh, there's one empty one there. No, it's not. The key is part the other way round for some reason. That's really interesting how they've done that, actually. Not sure what that's all about. Anyway, they have done that. So yeah, I'm going to move the car. It's actually blocked that stall. If they'd gone there... Anyway, there's probably a good reason for that. Okay, I'm at 92%, but I am going to move because it is really busy. And I feel a bit guilty hogging a space. Got more than enough charge to get to where we need to go, so there we go. So I bet when we get back we won't have our food yet. I'm on 92% and it says we'll get to Anglesey with about 50% still. So really charging has taken no time at all in this journey, because we're here anyway. We would have had to stop for food in a petrol car, and we'll get there with 50% still. So yeah, it's a really stress-free journey. Lots of options to charge. Although it is busy here, it is full. It's not queuing full, it's sort of just on the borderline. So we've arrived at the Airbnb in Holyhead, and we've got 43% left, so we're on what, 93% when we left Trenton Gardens. Quite funny, big sign here that says do not charge your electric car, so won't be doing that, but more than enough to kind of get around. There is a few charges in Holyhead, so there's one at Morrison's, so hopefully if that works we can charge up there. So yes, it's been a completely successful journey. Set off at 99%, arrived with 42%, and probably charged for, I don't know, should have a look at that in the app, but 35 minutes maybe. Actually stayed at Trenton Gardens more like an hour. By the time our food came, we'd chosen the food, queued up, paid for it, all of that. Took about an hour. And I'll probably go out and get some shopping and hopefully charge at Morrison's. But yeah, so yeah, it's a long journey. It's got here about 5, so longer than expected, but I thought it would be. We've had bad traffic a lot of the way, which has affected the fuel consumption. This thing seems to be most happy doing 70. Actually got 5 miles per kilowatt hour, doing 70 miles an hour. My consumption over the last 200 miles has been 5 miles per kilowatt hour. I guess that's a 300 mile range for this car, from 100 to 0. Okay, yeah, so it's a 380 mile journey roughly, and the car will do 300 miles to a charge, so we only had to really add 80 miles to get here, but we did need more, so 40% is good arriving with 40%. I'm happy with that because I'm going to need some power when I'm here. It's not allowed to charge here. Ideally, all hotels, Airbnbs, whatever, would have a charging point. These people don't, so bit of a shame that, but yeah, arriving with 40% is really good. Really happy with that. So I'm glad I did charge up to that 90 odd % at Trentham Gardens. So just going to go to Morrison's. We've got to get some breakfast stuff and that sort of thing. So yeah, we'll charge at Morrison's, and if we actually go into here and charging, not working. Well, we'll see about that, because I'm always very sceptical when these chargers say they're not working. I generally find they do work. I've very rarely had a charger not work. Genie Pot have a very bad reputation, and apparently deservedly so, but I've always had them work, so I'm going to try charging whilst I do my shopping, and then that should get me enough charge to get me back even kind of towards England on the way back. So yeah, I mean, what I wouldn't have wanted to do is arrive with like 5% here, and 40% is more than enough to kind of do anything really. Now I do think moderately fast rapid chargers are a good idea at supermarkets, because the thing is, you're in a supermarket for 10, 20, 30 minutes, something like that. If you can get most of a charge in that time, then really charging hasn't added any extra time onto your day. Tesco have a lot of 7 kilowatt chargers, and frankly I think they're pointless, because you know, it's going to add like 3 kilowatt hours, which on a car like this is about 5% battery in that time, in half an hour. So it's just adding 5%. It's just totally pointless. Literally, I mean, it's better than nothing if it's an emergency, I suppose. But right, so a bit of a problem. Battery's preconditioning, lovely. But the other problem is there's only one CCS port, and there is someone using it. And there was another one in the town, and someone was also using that. So, is this a real issue? Well, I've wasted 1.5% battery warming the battery up. You can see that down there. So, yes, I have wasted some battery, but I was going to come here anyway. So, one of those things. I'm hoping that when I leave here, the charger is going to be free. If it's not, I'm just going to come back another day, because we're here for a few days. Right, so I'm not going to charge, because these people, but they're on holiday like us, and they're on 50%, I'm on 38. Anyway, that's beside the point. I can come back. They were having trouble getting the car charging. I got it going first time, so they're very grateful about that, and I'm not going to be like, oh, I need to charge too. I'll cross that bridge in the morning. I think it'll be fine. So I'm on the way back to the Airbnb. Over to my right now is the port, and there are some grid surf chargers there, but you can only access them if you're actually going to the port. So there is one down here somewhere. I'm just going to see if I can get a charge. If there's nobody on it, I am going to use it, but I'm only going to wait around for 5 minutes or so. You know, 5-10 minutes charging, rather than kind of some long drawn-out affair. It's just down here, so just going to have a quick look, because on the off chance, if it is free, because it wasn't earlier, I could just get a little bit whilst I'm on my own and I've not got my family with me. It's a possibility, but I don't want to be waiting around to charge. Right, it is in this car park, and there's some bored Welsh people around. Let's have a look here. So there is a car, and I think it's charging still. I suspect this car is just parked up kind of forever. It is a full electric car, yeah, so it's still charging. Well, it took 2 attempts, but I finally got this Genie point working, so it's the second day of our trip at 30%. We have actually driven all around the island, so we're sort of, what, 14% down on yesterday, and I've done 3 or 4 trips now. So yeah, come here and it's actually working at full speed, and I think that's full speed for this unit, 50 kilowatts. Right, so we just got back from Tesco. It's very busy here because this car's come and plugged into the Type 2 outlet, but it can do both. So this is the maximum output, at least for this car. It's probably limited by amps to 50 kilowatts. If we have a look here, you can see it's actually 11 kilowatt to this. So it's not a supply limit, it's actually an amp limit in the DC circuitry. So yeah, anyway, that's as much as I'm going to charge now. It started raining. I'm going to go back to the Airbnb, but yeah, so we've done our shopping in Tesco. Morrison's is a bit grim. Drive around now, 66% is quite a lot of driving around, so that's good. 20 quid. Not terrible though, but it's only not cheap here. I think it's 83 pence per unit. So we're actually in Holyhead at the moment at this country park, which is very nice. It has 4 BP pulse rapid chargers. So I thought I'd plug the car in, knowing it wouldn't really do anything, because we're not here for very long in the park because it's getting dark. So I spent the day driving around the whole of Anglesey, and we're down to 30% now. We've driven for probably an hour and a half today, done quite a lot of driving. So plugged in, it should give us 7 kilowatt, but it's actually, oh, it is giving us 7 now. It was giving us 3 before, so it's added 3% in the time we've been here. So next to useless, but I suppose it is working. Alright, so it's Sunday night, and we're going back to Kent tomorrow, but we are doing some kind of stuff tomorrow. Hopefully meeting some friends and family on the way back to Kent, and I kind of like to just drive and not have to think about charging and maximise the most amount of time on the road. So I'm just going to go and see whether I can sit in the car and charge for half an hour. Now, it's not something I'd normally do, and it's something that I don't actually have to do, but I'm hoping to go up through Snowdonia. I'm hoping to charge en route. However, the charger that I'm hoping to stop at, that I've had a look at on the map, there's only really one plug. Now, if that plug is broken or occupied or whatever, then there'll be a problem and it might delay the journey. I don't want to do that. I'm going to go and charge now. So we're going to drive into town and use the charger that everyone says is broken, see if we can get it working. If we had a charger here at the Airbnb, well, I wouldn't be doing this whatsoever. I would just be fully charged in the morning like I was back home in Kent. Unfortunately, we don't have a charger at this Airbnb, so I can't do that. And it just goes to show that I know some people are so hilariously positively EV, they go, oh, it's absolutely brilliant. Well, they are absolutely brilliant, but you do have to be able to charge them. Now, I could charge it at that house and it would be fully charged by the morning, but they don't allow us to. I don't know why that is particularly, but I'm sure there's a good reason for it, insurance or something like that. So an EV is only as good as being able to charge it. Now, electricity is everywhere, it's in most buildings, but you do have to have an actual socket. So unfortunately, we've been driving around the island all day today. We've probably done 1.5 to 2 hours of driving today, and we're now down to 32%. So 32% would probably get me to Snowdonia, probably even get me to England, but I don't want to have a full car, bad weather, be stuck in the mountains and be on like 1% heading towards a charger that may or may not be working. Okay, so I've just driven past the charger that doesn't work, and it clearly does work because there's a brand new Tesla like this, but newer, a year newer, nearly a year newer, charging on it. So clearly that charger does work, and I've been slightly misled there. I'm going to try this grid surf charger in the port, but hopefully you are actually allowed to go into the port and charge. So I will say this about Anglesey: absolutely hopeless charging provision. It's a major tourist place. It's got loads of grid power in the grid, because there used to be a nuclear power station on the island, and I am going to say, yeah, 20 minutes free. Okay, cool. Okay, so I'm at the port. I'm going to use the GridSurf app to charge. I want that one, I want that one, I want this. Right, I'm get back in the warm. But it is at least working. That we're getting 45 kilowatts. So better than the poke in the eye. So I'll probably be here for about 15 minutes, I reckon. So I'm going to do 15 minutes, and that should get me through tomorrow quite nicely, I reckon. Okay, so it is working. I've got 15 minutes of parking left, and we're getting 45 kilowatt, which is about right. Alright, I think that's just about it. So, been just coming up to the time I've got to leave due to parking restrictions. I might try that other charger, see if that Tesla's moved. I'll drive past it, but yeah, 48%. So what's that? That's about 18% it's added. So not really the fastest, but this is a very efficient car. 18% gets me an awfully long way. It's just I really do not like sitting in the car charging. I've very, very rarely done it, and it's particularly annoying doing it at a charger like that, where it's not even fast. It's just one of those irritating things that the technology is absolutely there, it just involves the Airbnb person fitting a charger, and I would have paid like 20-30 quid to use it just for the convenience, because it would have been so convenient. If you have to put a sign up saying no charging, then people have obviously tried to charge before and they're not insured for it, or they don't have suitable socket or whatever. I can see why you wouldn't want to allow it, but yeah. Oh, here we go, look, there's nobody at this charger now. Mr. Tesla man is gone. So this is the one that it said on all the apps that it wasn't working. I'm actually now charging at this eVolt charger here in the town centre of Holyhead, but it's always important, I think, to actually try chargers. Now, don't navigate to a charger that it says is broken or is offline or something. And it's always good advice to look at reviews, but don't take them for granted, because I've just come to this one and it's worked. Right, I've done I've done all my paperwork and ordering and stuff. I'm at 98% now. It's 5 minutes to 11, so I'm going to stop charging now. So we get diminishing returns as the battery gets full, although it doesn't slow down too horrendously. We're still doing 19 kilowatt. So yeah, that's good. That puts me in a good position tomorrow. I can set off with a full battery pretty much, and I'm going to go a very slightly longer way back to Kent, but hopefully it'll be the same situation as last time where charging will not be an issue. And in fact, I want to be doing even less time charging on the way back. This is the charger here, and someone is using it. When we turned up, someone was using it, and I thought, ooh, I can move the car. Someone's not using it, but I've just gone to move the car and someone else is on charge now. So again, charger works fine even though it says it's broken online, but it's very busy again, so that's slightly annoying. It's actually going to put more money on the car because it's been longer than we thought we were going to be. I mean, if we'd had a whole line of chargers here, it would have been a lot better really, but there we go. You could have had like 27 kilowatt chargers, and I probably wouldn't have needed to stop again. But it is what it is. It's just EVs are very good, but there does need to be chargers everywhere for them, not just in certain places. So this was the first charge since Holyhead at Rugby, so there's loads of chargers here, and we're on 15%, so that's all good. It says we only need 5 minutes of charge to continue our trip, but I suspect we're going to be here for a bit longer because I know what these things are like with the kids. We did have to stop very quickly for a loo break, but the charging was rubbish there, so we haven't bothered. We didn't bother charging. There were chargers free, but there's like one free, and it looked like there were people who needed it more, so yeah, I reckon this will actually be enough to get us home, but it does say it's quicker to do 2 short stops, so we'll see how we get on. So I've literally just gone to the loo and it's already telling me I need to move the car. Well, I don't need to move the car, but I could move the car. It's the quickest way to get home. So yeah, it's actually quite funny. You can keep up with the car, but it's very hard to. It's actually almost impossible to, I reckon. You'd have to not drink very much and run to the loo. We're just getting in the car now, and we're on 52%, so see how we get on with this. Well, it was all going so well. I have to stop here at Luton, right behind the airport. Quite good though. Went to the loo at McDonald's, got some water and some chips, and we've now got enough to get home. So this was a sort of emergency loo break stop, but worked out fine actually. We are back, and we've got 15% battery still left, so that's fine. I'm going to charge it at my work tomorrow, and that will take like 1% to get to work, and that will all be good. So yeah, journey went well. Just to summarise, set off with about 97%, arrived with 15, and we did 2 stops of about 10 minutes. I think that was the most time efficient way of doing it. Obviously we could have done 1 longer stop, but 2 10-minute stops, and that really is the time it took me to walk to the loo from the charger and then back to the car in both instances. So yeah, we stopped at Rugby, loads of chargers there, and we stopped at Luton, again, loads of chargers there. And the second stop at Luton was really a loo break. We did also stop at the M6 toll services, but the charging was very bad. So we stopped for like 2.5 hours in Snowdonia, and again, charging was bad. But really, it was only one stop at Rugby that was additional for charging, although we did get some drinks and go to the loo there. So yeah, journey really totally fine. No problem at all. In fact, the whole journey has been great. We set off with 100%. We stopped once at Trentham Gardens for 35 minutes, I think it was. 35 minutes at Trentham Gardens. Arrived with 43%. Then we did a couple of stops on the island to get it back up to 97%, and we did drive around the island, did shopping and all sorts of other stuff. So then, from Holyhead back to Kent, set off 97%, 2 stops of 10 minutes and back. So really, unless you have particularly good bladder and you like driving dehydrated, you won't outdo this car. I can guarantee you, in the time it takes you to walk to the loo and back, this will be charged enough. And that's a pretty long journey, North Wales down to Kent, and we're in the southeast of Kent, right? So, you know, and this is the short range Tesla. So, yep, absolutely no trouble at all driving long distances in an electric car and charging on the move. Obviously, I've been over the charging problems in Holyhead. Weren't really problems, more like challenges.